Hi, my name is Michelle Dutrissa and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up here in Australia. What I'd like to share with you today is just a little quick tip on doing a two-colour sentiment such as I've done here. Now if you're using a large stamp pad, of course you wouldn't be able to get into all the small lines. So I mean, you could stamp the pink, but you wouldn't be able to get the blue into just to do the too much and today and. So I'm going to share with you a quick tip on how to do this. Now, this is a fairly old tip, so it's nothing new, but I just thought I'd share it with you, and an extra tip that I've just decided or discovered that is probably a lot easier today in today's COVID society. So just bear with me and I will... So what we're going to do is I've got my Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm using the Stampin Write Markers. Now, Stampin Write Markers are a water-based ink, so they can be used to colour in individual parts of your stamp. But as you're colouring in, the ink is starting to dry out a little bit. So what we would normally do for this is we would huff on it, so we'd breathe on it, and the moisture in our breath is enough to rejuvenate the ink to allow us to stamp. So let me show you what I mean there. So I've got my stamp here, and I'm just going to colour in. I'm going to use the Stampin Write Markers. I've got two tips. I've got a fine tip and a brush tip. I'm going to use the brush tip on these, and I'm just going to go over the words that I want to use in this, the pink. Now the pink that I'm using is one of the new ink colours, and it is the Magenta Madness. And this I will be posting up on my blog later on today or tomorrow morning, so you can actually see the completed card. So I'm just going to go very quickly over this. Now I'm just using the side of my brush tip. I'm not using, whoops, I've gone over an area I didn't want to go over. Let me see if I can wipe that out. And we'll just keep going. So just got to be very careful and work out which areas you want in which colour. So the first one I'm going to do, almost done, is I'm going to huff on this one. But with COVID and the not wanting to share our germs or anything like that through breathing, we're not even allowed to sing at churches at the moment. So it is a bit of a worry if you're doing a class situation or you're doing a card and you don't want to have maybe something on your card that could continue onto someone else. So normally, okay, we'd better put the other colour in. So normally what we'd do is we'd stamp it there, but I'm going to pop this colour in now. So you can see I'm just using two colours. So now I'm using the Misty Moonlight colour. Just go over those words there. So you can imagine that the inks that I first put on this stamp would be drying out about now. So normally what we would do, we'd huff on this, which is rejuvenating that ink, and we would stamp down. I've just got a lean across there, sorry. Okay, and that's what we end up with. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp. Probably really don't need to, but I'm going to anyway. So technically, that's now got my germs and everything on it. So this is, and I'm not a germophobic, it's just with today's day and age, we do have to sort of think about these things. So I'm going to colour this up again. Again, just very quickly, because I just want to show you how little difference the way I've now decided that I'm going to do this. Either in a class situation or just even when I'm giving cards to people, to friends. So I'm just going over all those words again. Sorry if this is taking up a little bit of time. Make sure I've got that well covered. the lid on that one. Let's grab our other colour. So this time, instead of huffing on that, okay, so that's now all coloured. What I've decided or discovered was, now if you spray that with water, now I'm not going to use just your normal spray, so what I would normally use would be my spritzer, but the spritzer will give you too much water because your breath is just giving you that tiniest amount of moisture. Now we're not going to be able to get something as fine as your breath, but by using a perfume atomizer, which gives you a very, very fine mist, it's a lot finer than say a spritzer or a spray bottle will give you. So I'm just going to very, very finely with a perfume atomizer, and I'm not going to do it close up. I am doing it about probably 25 centimeters or 8 inches away. Give that a bit of a spray. Let's bring in my cardstock again. Stamp that. And there you go. There's not much difference between the two of them. So that's with using my breath, and that's with using an atomizer. Now, where would you get an atomizer from? Now, that's something you would have to search up. You can buy them at some cheap shops here in Australia. We have a reject shop. They sell an atomizer. This one here, I think, came from Le Rêve, which is a perfume company. They sold empty atomizers so you could add your own perfume to it. But if you can find a perfume bottle that's empty, that you can take the lid off it, you can always put water in there. Just give it a good rinse out. This one still has a scent of perfume in it. Makes your card smell nice and lovely. But just a really great way to rejuvenate your ink without having to breathe on it. So without having to add the extra gift of germs, which we don't really want to do today with COVID. So I hope that's a good hint for you. I hope that's a tip that you can use. So go and find yourself a perfume atomizer. As I said, it's a nice, you wanted one that's got a nice fine spray. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye for now.